We had a major report drop from Shams of ESPN that reveals some major details on De'Aaron Fox's future with the Sacramento Kings, and then Fox had some interesting comments alongside that report, which have some fans worried, but I personally think it's more of a call out of Monte McNair to really fix things for this Kings roster. So we'll discuss that, including some injury updates for some key pieces in the Sacramento Kings rotation entering this season. So lots of stuff to sink our teeth into in this video. Before we do, folks, again, if you're a part of the 84% of our viewers that haven't hit the subscribe button just yet, we're getting a ton of new viewers with the season coming just around the corner. And if you're a part of that new wave and haven't hit the subscribe button and want to stay up to date with everything that's going on with the Sacramento Kings, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you do stay up to date and enter this fun season that is ahead for this Kings team. But let's dive into the news. Let's dive into what's currently going on with this Kings team. We have a couple of injury updates for Trey, Lyles, as well as Kevin Huerter, because as we've seen in preseason, yes, things haven't been perfect. Yes, things haven't been ideal, especially with how the outcomes of the games. There's been some positives actually within the midst of the games, but being 0-5 out there in preseason is a bit discouraging, no matter how much we want to neglect the preseason record, which I kind of have been so far this entering this year. But we want some updates regarding Kevin Huerter as well as Trey Lyles, and we got a couple of those from Mike Brown recently after practice. Essentially, Trey Lyles is playing live against players in one-on-one situations. To me, that's progress. I don't know what the timetable is on it, but we'll see in due time. So obviously, Trey Lyles had a pretty fun off-season playing for Team Canada out there in the Olympics, so has been doing a few things out there and is recovering from injury here now at this point. So we'll see what updates we have on his front in terms of being in the front court for this team, because again, adding his shooting just to space the floor be another option out there in the front court for this Kings team, especially where Keegan Murray's kind of, I don't want to say playing out of position, but I like Keegan Murray more as that small forward role, and Trey Lyles can kind of insert himself in there and be in that, put people back into their regular positions, at least once we're kind of integrating through the rotation. So Trey Lyles is a nice piece to have out there in the running for this Kings team to get minutes and to just even out the roster a little bit more, especially with this jump shooting and the hustle he was able to provide here and there. But the guy that I know a lot of people are really intrigued about is Kevin Huerter, because again, last season was a bit of a down year, but still is going to be crucial for this team to get back on track, especially with the shooting. But essentially, we have a game that we called Next Game, and we had guys in here before practice playing 5-on-5 live, and Kevin was a part of that. So essentially, Kevin Huerter is practicing. Both these guys are doing some different drills, ramping things up with the season ahead. So that's encouraging that things don't seem too dire. There hasn't been many setbacks reported, and Mike Brown's kind of hinting that these returns maybe not are imminent, but are definitely on the horizon for this Kings team. So some positive injury updates there, but we want to dive into the news. What's happening with this De'Aaron Fox update? And basically, so to talk about what's happening here, in this whole situation, obviously, De'Aaron Fox, I'm pressing the wrong buttons. There we go. We got a major De'Aaron Fox free agency update. And I've seen in the comment section, I've seen it around Kings Reddit, Twitter, these different places, but people are worried about the future of De'Aaron Fox with this team and what's going to happen here now at this point in terms of whether or not he'll be with this team long term, because again, things aren't really shaking out. He's a free agent at the end of the summer. And a few years ago, right, the Kings made that decision in picking De'Aaron Fox over Halliburton, and he said all the right things. But basically, we got a report from Shams that essentially indicates something that most fans already knew. Essentially, reporting for the NBA Today on Sacramento Kings cornerstone De'Aaron Fox, he's bypassing the $165 million max extension as a larger deal looms in the 2025 offseason. So I've seen that. Some people have weirdly taken that out of context, like, oh, he's definitely gone, he's this, whatever, right? But it was this report in combination with a quote from De'Aaron Fox that genuinely, I think, especially out of context, makes sense that a few more Kings fans, few NBA fans could see it a little bit worrisome about his future in Sacramento. So essentially, the quote that came out is saying that, I just want to make sure where I'm at, because people have seen the league. Like turnover of a team that can happen in the matter of a month or 2 or 6 months. I mean, if we're contending for a championship, it might be different. Like obviously the Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum just won a championship, or the Miami Heat with Bam Adebayo, who's been to the finals twice. I'm just using the people who are on my draft class, who have signed extensions, and they've already kind of been through that, winning a ton of games and stuff, done that. So yeah, they have the security of having done that. For me, obviously, I want to continue. Obviously, we're continuing to build. So Essentially, what the context of this is, what this sort of kind of indicates, is that De'Aaron Fox wants to be on a winner. He wants to be on a position on a team that is going to win games. He's comparing himself to Jason Tatum, to Bam Adebayo. These two guys that were in his draft class that have had a ton of success out there winning games and getting W's and making deep playoff runs. In Jason Tatum's case, winning an NBA championship. And we all know De'Aaron Fox is a winner. He wants to be a winner. It's kind of primary focus, his main focus. And essentially what this comment, alongside him turning down his extension, led to a Twitter spiral from Kings fans, from people around the NBA. Oh, he's going to leave. Oh, he's going to depart from the Kings. They should trade him right away, or all that type of stuff. And again, I could see how that gets taken, because the Kings 0-5 in preseason, everyone's overreacting to that, and wouldn't be making this comments if it wasn't for a reason. You know, most of the time you don't want to rock the ship if things are going steady, but I look at this as more of, hey, Monte, McNair, get things right. Get things, right the ship. Don't blow things up this season and just expect me to come back. And that's something I think most Kings fans should be thinking as more of a positive, should be, more excited about out there on that front, because, again, this team should be a winner. They shouldn't try and tank and then keep De'Aaron Fox out there on the roster. But really, the part of this that should really ease the nerves of Kings fans is essentially what he came out and also said in this quote that hasn't been as widely reported and widely discussed. Essentially, he said, "I would love to be here for my entire career. To be on one team, to be in one city for my entire career," Fox continued, "is not unheard of, but it doesn't happen a lot. So to be in that category would definitely be great. That's something that's amazing. You're able to obviously build your life, your family, your entire career in one place, and that's everybody's dream. No one wants to just be bouncing around from different teams." So again, yes, De'Aaron Fox wants to win. Yes, he wants his Kings team to be good. And I think those comments were purposely put out there to say, hey, let's make sure this ship is righted. Let's make sure there are good players. There's a good roster out here for the Sacramento Kings for years to come. You want your star player to do things like that and not give the sort of ease and comfort that a star player can sometimes give to a different sort of GM and management and stuff. And then they kind of take their foot off the gas. De'Aaron Fox being a little bit pushy makes a ton of sense, but he still wants to be in Sacramento. And I know some people are all like, hey, De'Aaron Fox, it is what it is. The guy averaged 27 points per game last season, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. I saw the casual NBA fans, people that aren't watching this guy play at all, like talk about, hey, why is he comparing himself to Jason Tatum, especially, Bam Adebayo, and he hasn't won that much. But look at the stats that this man has been able to put up. He's only 26 years old, shooting 44% of corner threes, and the jump shot was like the one concern about him, and shooting 37% overall from the three-point line. De'Aaron Fox is a proper star player. He is a true kind of leader out there on this Kings team, and yes, the Kings have had success. They've had winning seasons. They've had some positives. Yes, there are some concerns. Might be at an inflection point right now in terms of what the Kings have to do, but you want your star player to do everything he can, everything in his power to make sure the franchise, make sure the organization is putting their best foot forward to win games. So I don't mind this from De'Aaron Fox. Obviously, if more reports come out about, hey, De'Aaron Fox wants out and stuff, then all these comments get put into a different light, but I wouldn't put these as negative as some people are sort of portraying. But let me know what you guys think about all this updates. These updates regarding De'Aaron Fox, his future with the Kings, and injury updates we saw for this Kings roster. But let me know in the comment section down below. That's the best. Again, hit that subscribe button if you're part of the 84%. I'm signing out. Cheers.